Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Gurum Vande Sharanyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanu Vishtam Purnam Radha Dasyam Pradayakam Rupanugacharya Varyam Rupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Bandhavam Yugacharya Narayanam Vancha Kalupatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyayevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Tvise Namaha. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismirahasara Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulasi Devyai Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramu Ramo Ramo Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradatama Shri Guru Pada Padama Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotara Sata Srimad Shila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Shila Gurudeva, and to my most beloved Shikshan Sannyasa Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotara Sata Srimad Shila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shri Rupano Gauri Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasas, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So continue from Sri Ramananda's Samvada. What is the greatest treasure? Mahaprabhu is asking to Sri Ramananda. Sampati Ramadhe Jivera Kono Sampati Gani Radha Krishna Preme Jara Shei Borodhani. Shriman Mahaprabhu asked, of all the different varieties of riches, what is the greatest treasure of the Jiva? Shri Ramananda Rai replied, whoever possesses the wealth of Prema to Shri Radha and Krishna is the wealthiest. In this world, the jivas possess many sorts of wealth, but these material riches are destructible. From the ancient past till now, they have not given anyone any real happiness, nor shall they ever do so in the future. Never mind the ordinary jivas. Indra's opulences and Lord Brahma's own planet are destructible and thus are merely fleeting. Such wealth may be destroyed at any moment. Yet, whoever possesses the wealth of Prema to Shri Radha Krishna is truly the wealthiest person. Even Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who is the wealth of the wealthy, personally runs behind such a person. In actual fact, such a Premi Bhakta is able to bestow his incalculable wealth of Prema upon another and make him completely happy forever. So even Krishna is behind his own love. not his own love in the sense the love he has, but the love for him. Means he's always trying to be on the side of the devotee, because he knows that the one who loves is actually able to derive much more pleasure than the one who is loved. The suffering jiva is full of material desires to enjoy and is totally addicted to matter. He pursues sense gratification and so considers the attainment of material wealth to be his primary duty. But if one comprehensively deliberates upon the various categories of wealth with subtle spiritual discrimination, then factually no other wealth can compare with the wealth of prema for Shri Radha and Krishna. That reminds me that pastime of Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad. He was approached by one Brahmana who wanted to marry his daughter off. That Brahmana, he did puja for Shiva, asking for wealth to be able to marry his daughter. And Lord Shiva told him, go to Sanatana Goswami Pad at the bank of Jamuna. He possesses the greatest wealth and he can share that with you. So upon arriving there, he approached Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad, explained to him everything, all the situation. And Srila Sanatana Goswami said, oh, you must be speaking about the Chintamani. Yes, I have a Chintamani, but I threw it there in the pile of garbage over there. So if you are able to find, it is yours. I have no objection. So that Brahmana, he went there and he found that Chintamani. Chintamani means the what's a wishing fulfilling gem, which can fulfill all the desires that you imagine that can give you. You can become the most powerful and rich person in the whole world. So then that man, when he found it, he was completely happy and satisfied. But as he was leaving that place, something came into his mind. He thought, oh, if he gave me that so easily, it means that he must have something which even more, precious than this Chintamani. So I must come back to him and force him to give me that, because Lord Shiva promised that he would give me the most precious thing that he has. And then he came back there and he told to Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad, I want the most precious thing you have, even more than this Chintamani. If you gave me that so easily, it means you have something more valuable with you. And Srila Sanatana Goswami, he thought twice and he said, okay, I can give you that. But before, you have to throw this Chintamani inside of the Yamuna River. And then you should come empty-handed. And the man thought, okay, he's telling me the truth. He's a, honest person. He's a sadhu. He's not going to cheat me. Then he threw that Chintamani in the middle of the Jamuna. So then when he came, he said, okay, now I have done as you said. So I want the most precious thing you have. Then Srila Sanatana Goswami told him, okay, now you should sit down here and listen carefully. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This Harinam, this is the most powerful, most precious thing. And then the man ended up not more interested in marrying his daughter. He stayed there doing bhajan for the rest of his life. So if we are able to actually realize that there is nothing in this world that we can compare with Harinam, and of course with Krishna Prem, because this Harinam is giving Krishna Prem, right? So we are actually talking about the same thing. So therefore, the wealthiest person is those who have prema for Radha and Krishna. Kimmalabhyam Bhagavati Parasane Sriniketani Tatapi Tat Pararajam Nahi Vanchanti Kinchana. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:39-2. O Parikshit, is there anything unattainable for those devotees who have pleased Shri Krishna, who is the shelter of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune? Such devotees can obtain whatever they may fancy, even though they do not desire anything. Because Nam itself is Chintamani. Nama Chintamani is Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Purnam Shuddha Nitya Mukto Abhinato Namanami. This Nam is what? Chintamani also. Harinam can also fulfill all desires, even material desires. But devotees, they don't want that. So this is the greatest wealth. Now, next question. What is the greatest distress? This is, I think, the most important question of the whole section. Dukkhamade kono dukkha hoy gurutar Krishna bhakta viraha vina dukkha nahi dekipar. Srimad Mahaprabhu asked, of all kinds of unhappiness, which is the most distressful? Sri Ramananda Rai replied, separation from the devotee of Shri Krishna is truly the greatest misery. There is no suffering worse than this. Only they who know the essence of bhakti can really know the glories of the devotees of Shri Krishna, and they alone can appreciate the association of a devotee as being the supreme gain. No one else can understand this. It has been said. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita 1.554, Maharaj Yudhishthira is saying, in fact, the association of devotees of Bhagavan Sri Vishnu is more precious to us than our own life. On the other hand, due to separation from those very devotees in this world, we cannot get even a moment of happiness now. Then the one who fails to worship me, who is overly absorbed in material life, who does not stick to the path of devotional service, who does not affiliate with saintly personalities, and who does not serve his elders, is the most unhappy fellow. So Krishna is saying. So in this way, being deprived of the association of the pure devotees, it is definitely the biggest type of sorrow we can experience in our life. That should be our feelings. But if we have no attachment for them, then we cannot feel separation. That much you have attachment, that much you have separation. So anyway, we should try at least to become more attached to the pure devotees, and always miss their association. This is a type of very sensitive subject. I have lost 2 gurus already. My most precious things in my life. Lost in the sense you understand, but in the physical association, of course, because they are with us, of course, but it is something which I never, wish that anyone can face, this type of experience, because the whole world seems empty, void. Everything loses meaning, loses significance, and I cannot even describe how is it, how does it feel. It's something very, very strange. And those who have not yet experienced that, they also have no idea. They have no idea. So it's very difficult to actually try to share this type of feelings. Only a widow lady knows what to be a widow means, right? So in the same way, those who become orphans from Guru, they know what is, to be like, orphan from Guru. And But at the same time, I feel that I have not developed a single drop of attachment for my Gurudev, because if I would so, mm, I would stop immediately with all types of material enjoyments. Because the real symptom of anuraga is vairagya. Mm. So anuraga and vairagya, they are combinedly coming together. The more anurag you have, the more vairagya you must manifest when you lose that thing. Mm. The, the comparison is that, uh, but at the same time, this type of pain that we feel when we lose Guru's association or Vaishnava's association is that this type of pain is not destructive. It is constructive. It does not give you depression. It gives you actually more bhakti and more life. Although you want to die at once, it doesn't happen, and you also will not be lying on the bed taking, medicines. You will be more enthusiastic somehow, or other, because you want to find your guru somehow in that seva, in that practice. There is a type of connection in that. So we want to practice and serve more and more, because that's the way you have to feel this connection with your guru, through Guru Seva. This is the real sadhu sangha, right? So we can see that in material life, when a mother loses a child, child dies earlier, precoce, automatically she will lose interest for whatever she liked before. If she liked to go for entertainment, if she liked to dress nicely, to do makeup, to eat such nice food, to do anything for fun, she will lose interest in everything. She don't want to eat, she don't want to have fun, she don't want to do anything because of that pain. So that separation caused what? Detachment from material enjoyment, right? But what is the difference between that pain and the spiritual pain of separation? Is that as time is passing, that mother will gradually again manifest those material desires, and she will again start to enjoy life as before. She again will feel interest in dressing nicely, in going for fun and eating nice things, because that type of separation is material and gives just a temporary type of detachment, renunciation. But the spiritual separation, it will cause you to gradually actually give up the enjoyment and the attachment, and to become gradually more detached. Although you may not manifest this at once as that mother, you will manifest that in a long run. So that is the real intention why Guru is living, and why he's provoking this type of state of separation. That is to increase our material detachment and our spiritual attachment. So we measure, we really measure that much separation one is feeling by how much he's able to detach and give up this material enjoyment, and only be dedicated to bhakti. That will come first from Guru, then gradually that should also manifest from Krishna. Separation from Krishna and Radha and all like that. But anyway, we should make Vaishnavas our very life and soul. They should be the meaning of our living, of our doing and serving. That should be. Nothing else. And then we can survive. I tell you, it's possible to survive. And although we don't know how, only if they're maintaining our lives. They themselves are maintaining our lives. Then it is possible. Just like why the gopis, they did not die when Krishna left. Because they know, first of all, if they die, Krishna will not be happy. So they don't die. And second, they cannot die because they have already given their hearts to Krishna. So Krishna is maintaining their hearts and their life heirs. Their lives do not belong to them. They are being maintained by Krishna. So in the same way, if the disciple has given his whole life and heart to Guru, Guru is maintaining his life. So somehow or other, inspiration will come to wake up every day and to do service and to be enthusiastic. Despite of such pain, despite of such state of desperation and hopelessness, we will find inspiration to dance in kirtan, to smile, to make others happy. Because behind this pain of separation, there is the greatest happiness, which is that we met with the pure devotee. We had that association. And that is what we should actually always consider. That happiness. I had the great fortune. I met with this great personality. That type of happiness is greater than the suffering of separation that you feel. The same thing in Krishna Lila. That separation actually provokes a meeting inside. And that meeting gives much more happiness than the pain of the separation itself. Therefore, they can survive. Therefore, they can maintain themselves. That is how things are running, like that. Okay. Now let us move on to the next question. Who is truly liberated? Muktamade kono jiva mukta khorimani Krishna prema jara say mukta shiromani. Sriman Mahaprabhu then said, out of all liberated persons, which jiva should be accepted as truly liberated? Ramananda Rai replied, he who has prema for Shri Krishna is the crown jewel of all liberated persons. So those who achieve Krishna prema, they are the real liberated jivas. The real meaning of mukta or liberated soul is one who is freed from material bondage. Those fortunate persons in whom Krishna prema is present are factually the crown jewels among liberated personalities. Parikshit Maharaj has said, Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayana sudurlabha prashannatma kochiswapi mahamune. But Bhagavatam 6:14-5. O great sage, even out of many millions of perfected and liberated persons, it is very difficult to meet a Mahapurush who is completely and exclusively dedicated to Bhagavan. Such a Premi Bhakta day and night remains immersed in the pure nectar of Krishna Prema. And by continually savoring that indescribable nectar, he becomes forgetful of his own body. Those who have love and affection for Madana Mohan Shri Krishna leave everything for him, including wife, children, relatives, and home. They are always sinking in love and affection for him. And due to that love, tears continually flow from their eyes. Such devotees are always blissful, and Shri Krishna always follows behind them, wherever they may go. Madana Mohan Shri Krishna waits to embrace such devotees with arms wide open. A Krishna Premi Bhakta is factually liberated in the above manner. So this is the description of how Krishna receives you in the spiritual world. It is said that he opens his arms and gives you a big embrace. This is how he receives. So the real meaning of mukti, I will give, it's not mentioning here. But the real meaning of mukti means muktir hitvanyaparupam swarupena vyavastitihi. To be situated in your own swarupa, in an eternal relationship with Bhagavan. That is called the real liberation. So liberation does not mean you go to Brahma Jyoti. That is not eternal. That's only temporary liberation. Okay? But the eternal liberation is only those who achieve prema. That prema has two types. One is Vaikuntiya prema, other is Golokya prema. This prema of Aishwarya and the prema with Madhurya. So in both ways, you are fully liberated. You never come back again to this material world. Next question. What is the greatest song? Gan mode kono gan jivera nija dharma, Radha Krishnera premi keli jai giteran marmo. Srimad Mahaprabhu asked, among many songs, which one is a natural activity of the living entity? Shri Ramananda Rai replied, songs that describe Shri Radha Krishna's love-filled pastimes, Prema Kali Lila, are the vital core of all. You know, interesting, when some type of mundane music comes in my mind, you know what I do to get rid of that thing? You know, I begin to sing Mahamantra with the same melody of that music. And then immediately it purifies that, and that goes away. You know, I always give this advice to the devotees, because here in the West we always hear many types of musics from neighbors, from cars, you know, outside. Anything, you are always, you know, with some type of noise. Even in our childhood, we heard many things. In our teenagehood, we heard many things. So when those music comes in my mind, automatically I will try to chant Mahamantra with that same melody, and that gives a type of transmutation. I cannot explain why and how, you know, but immediately that song disappears, totally disappears, and don't come again. So this is the best advice I can give. And especially don't listen to mundane music anymore. Mundane music is very bad in all senses, because it stimulates you, it overstimulates your emotions. Now, many people, they don't know why they are so depressed, why they are so unable to control their emotions and things. It's mostly due to music, because this overstimulus to our emotions is not natural. You know, it becomes like a carousel. Carousel, you know what that carousel means? You know, that spinning thing that you sit on the horse, and your emotions become like that. And it's not natural. We don't feel all this type of emotions all the time, you know, if we are in a normal state of living, you know. But if all the time you put all these mundane musics, what will happen? You create this type of, you break the equilibrium, the balance of your natural state of, you know, emotion. So you should stop all this type of mundane musics, and also not listening to any type of news on the newspapers and all these things, because they also stimulate us with excessive bad feelings and bad news. And we often think that this world is very bad, and most of the things are bad, and it's not true. Bad things are very less, but because they are being promoted by the media, we hear more about them. We hear more about them, and that creates a state of hopelessness to us, and we end up what? Surrendering to that. Okay, you know, they are winning, you know, they are majority, so what can I do to fight Let me follow it. Let me follow it. But no, it's not true. Evil is always minority, and the good is always majority. Just live your life in the state of what is around you. What is around you, that you should live. And then you see that life is much better, much calmer, much easier than we imagine. That is a very good tip. Sometimes problems may come around you. Sometimes a war may come around you, but this is your reality, not the reality of the whole world and not of 100% of the people, right? So in this way. Someone asking about classic music. I think Ishata Kurani. It is also the same. It's overstimulating. Overstimulating. There is also a lot of emotions there. Those musics are also based on feelings, because every note hits one type of feeling, and that melody creates a block of sound which brings that type of emotion. Like that. You can try as much as you can to stop, decrease. I stopped hearing all these things from, I think, 15, 16 years old. I stopped completely. No news, no TV, no radio, no musics anymore. Then that gave me a totally different strength, and perspective of life. Of course, I'm not completely ignorant about what is happening around me, but I know when I want to get that information and where I can get the information. So I am searching for the information. I'm not just opening myself to whatever comes, as people do. They just turn on the TV, they become like receptive and say, okay, let it come. Whatever you want to give me, I am open to that. This is weakness. This is terrible. You want to be informed? Okay, you go, you search, you get information of that. That's a different thing. Like about the war in Ukraine. I know everything which is going on there. I know where to find the proper information. I know where to search. No one can manipulate me. And also, I am not becoming, what to say, vulnerable to their narrative and to their type of, social manipulation with this, with that. No. Understand? And most of the people, they're completely what? Surrender. They're like refugees in the hand of media. They're like kidnapped people, They're keeping in the hostage by them. They can do whatever they want. They can speak whatever they want. People, they believe, they follow, they agree, they cry, they laugh. They become like puppets. They are very expert in manipulating. There are many, many techniques behind all these things. Many, many techniques. They're not doing things randomly. If you little bit study about PNL, PNL? No, NLP, I think in English. Neurolinguistical programming. PNL, yeah, program neurolinguistic, like that. You study about that, you understand how much they can manipulate the reality. Things are not coming randomly around. There is a lot of bad intention. Once Goebbels, one of Hitler's most powerful general, he said, I prefer 10 cinema halls than 1,000 men. Because the cinema can conquer the whole society very easy. Much easier than war. You can manipulate people's mind. You can make them brainwashed. Very easy. Okay, anyway. So now let's come back here. The best type of song Mahaprabhu is saying, songs of Krishna. Then you can listen to bhajans, to kirtans, because those emotions, they're very positive. Even if they may vary, they may change, they're all positive. So hear as much as you can, kirtan, and focus in your spiritual life. Without intrinsic dharma, nothing can exist. Without the intrinsic dharma of the soul cannot exist. Every question asked by Sriman Mahaprabhu referred to the soul. He never inquired using the words human beings or mankind. For the benefit of the jivas, Sriman Mahaprabhu asked about duties pertaining to the intrinsic activity, Swarupa Dharma of the jiva. Therefore, it is the constitutional position of the living being to perform Sankirtanam, or congregational chanting of the loving pastimes of Sri Radha Krishna. Owing to the great ecstasy of prema inherent within their amorous pastimes, simply hearing such songs creates an awakening within one's internal consciousness. Thus, a song that intrinsically consists of such glorification is the real essence of all songs. Those songs that are found in Srimad Bhagavatam, such as Venugita, Gopi Gita, Brahmar Gita, and Jugala Gita, are classified as being Swarupa Dharma, or the constitutional function of the spirit soul. Samvada is a body of prayers that are also accepted as songs. By nature, the jiva is the eternal servant of Shri Krishna. It is therefore his factual religion to sing about the pastimes of his worshipful deity. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham astita vajate tadrishkrida yashrutva tatparo bhave. Bhagavatam 10, 33, 36. In order to bestow his mercy upon the jivas, Sri Bhagavan manifests his human-like form and performs such pastimes that induce anyone who hears about them to become devoted to him. The living beings now dedicated to the Lord become ecstatic in prema and begin to sing of his pastimes. The best of saints, Sri Sukadeva Goswami has said that when Shri Krishna goes to the forest for cow grazing, he gets tired from walking so far. Using a friend's lap as a pillow, he falls asleep. Some friends massage his feet, while others fan him very slowly. To please him while he rests happily, the animals and birds sing of his amorous pastimes of Sri Radha Krishna. This is very beautiful. We are now studying this book, Bhakti Rasayan, with the Russian devotees. And there Gurudev is describing very beautifully how the sakas are singing, trying to put Krishna to sleep after lunchtime. Although Krishna, he's not tired. What can make him tired? Just play with sakas. Not possible. He is able to kill demons and fight with demons, live to Govardhan for 7 days, play Rasalila for 1 night of Brahma. How he can be tired just by doing some small plays in the forest with the sakas? So then Gurudev is saying, but because he wants to hear those songs, he pretends to be asleep, just to hear the sakas singing, because it's such a sweet singing that Krishna, he pretends to sleep, not to make them stop singing. In this way also, Krishna left Rasalila just to hear the gopis singing in Gopi Gita, things like that. Krishna always liked to hear songs about himself. He's the only person who can be selfish. Apart of him, no one else. Okay, so now let us continue next time. Let me know if you have any question, any comments to make about this. Hare Krishna.